Hello one and all, it's Nerdcraft here, bringing you a Team Envy practice match here. Spawning on the western part of the Shattered Temples is envyFlatLine, our yellow Protoss player. And his opponent here spawning on the southern part, which is close air positions, envySmoke. So PvT on Shattered Temples on close air positions. Many things can happen. Void Rays are a possibility, but you don't see that as much against a Terran player, more as you see it against a Zerg player. Banshees are, I will say, are a most definite possibility. You do see that in close air positions almost all the time when it comes to it, because you can get such a really early economic lead as a Terran player, because Banshees are effective against any player, and early detection is always very hard. And you see the pylon and the supply depot going up for both of our players. The pylon just now finishing for Flatline, so he is going to have that probe lead early on. But you know, that's kind of what Protoss is like. It's always like that. It's one of those inevitable things that will never change. That's why Blizz has implemented mules for the Terran player, and mules are pretty awesome, I will not lie. So here we can see the barracks going down for Smoke. As to what Smoke is going to do, that's a very good question. If I remember correctly, this is the first game with Smoke I've ever casted. So as to his style, I have no idea what he does. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to in this game, because I really am looking forward to getting to know the players of Team Envy. Flatline, I can just tell you right now, he pretty much dominates when it comes to being a Protoss player. And as you can see, the scouting is going to be thoroughly denied. Now, if Smoke noticed that probe, he will go straight to close air positions. But it looks like he's actually going close positions. Does not realize that this is MLG. And this probe is just being annoying here, trying to pick off that SCV, but it got out of the way. And now he's just trying to do some damage on that supply depot. And now Flat's just going to send him right back to mining. Now you see here, Smoke is just getting his orbital command center up, so they can get in those mules, start getting that economy really going, get a lot of Marines out, get a lot of, just start shaping his strategy. As you can see, Flatline now getting his cybernetics core. You know, always in that time of the game where the strategies really start to take shape, or where the foundations for the strategy start to take shape. I'd say 6 minutes is usually where most of these strategies start taking shape. As you can see, the second simulator is done, and Stalker is now on its way, as well as Warp Gate technology. Interesting that Flatline would go for that Stalker before Zealot, try and deny scouting, but interesting enough, Smoke is going to get the full scout of everything, finally finding him, and looks like Smoke is going to go for a 21 command center, roughly, as well as a bunker right there. So 1 racks into expansion. I like it a lot. It's a little daring, but at the same time, he saw the full scout, saw only 1 gate and a single stalker, so he's probably feeling safe enough to do this. Yeah. Finally just got finished. So now we're both at double gas for both of our players, and now we see that Flatline is also going for his expansion. Don't know if he saw that command center or not with this probe. He did not. Looks like he's just going to go into that 1 gate expo against Terran. Don't know what would cause him to do that, because he has no idea what the Terran is doing. For all you know, Banshees could be on their way, but he doesn't know the Marine count or anything. For all he knows, there could be a push going on right here, but he's going for it, and 2 gateways are now on their way. So 1 gate expo into 3 gates, and here we have an SCV just chilling out, maxing, relaxing out, playing some space ball, because you don't play b-ball out in space. You play space ball, especially when you have a drill and little pinchers. And he's doing a little dance too. So now we have the reactor coming out. Looks like the Marine count is starting to get heavy, unless he's going to put that on a factory, go for Hellions, which would be very interesting to see. Tech Lab actually going on this into Starport, so it looks like Banshees are a big possibility. I keep saying Banshees, that's really the only thing I can't get my mind off of right now. And Robotics Bay, or Robotics Facility, is now about to finish, about 4th to go. Did scan that, and did scan that there's 3 gates, so if Smoke goes into Banshee, I would not agree with him. It looks like he's not. He's actually building a siege tank right now. No siege mode at all. Very interesting that he'd make a siege tank because usually you don't see mech or siege tanks at all like this used against Protoss, because they're usually pretty easily countered. As you can see, the Marines denying that that probe info right there, and Robotics Bay now going out. So it looks like Flatline is going to go straight into that Colossus. He doesn't want to mess around. He wants to get those Colossus out. He probably figures that there's Bio Ball going on, because that is the main kind of composition that you go up against Protoss as a Terran. You know, Marauders and Marines with medevacs. Interesting though that there are tanks out on the field. Excuse me, I had a little something in my throat. Actually, there is a Banshee coming out. Very, very interesting. As to what it will do is a very good question. 2 barracks now also being added, so definitely going to start getting that army composition really going. Surprised that Smoke was able to get away with just a Destiny Cloud Fist build into 2 racks just now. I mean, I thought he'd have his 2 barracks up at least by now, and looks like there was going to be that push, but Flat would just pull back instead. Very few Stalkers, interesting to note that. So usually you see a lot more Stalkers against Terran, because Stalkers are really good against Marines. And the first Colossus is now on its way. The Banshee is now going to start doing some probe harass, but as we can see, the Observer has seen it, and now the Banshee decides no. And now it's a yes. The Observer is still on it. Stalker's going to be warped in here, and Smoke saw that, and this Banshee pilot's just like, yeah, do not want. All the sentries are also bringing back too. Even a Colossus, because it wish it could shoot in the air. Could you imagine what that would be like? Just Colossus look up and just you see the extended thermal lances just like pierce the heavens. So let's see here. Now we have 2 reactors being added onto these barracks, so it looks like kind of a Marine tank composition, which is very interesting. Actually pretty good for Smoke, because considering that there is actually very, very few Stalkers, but there is a Colossus out. Colossus with extended thermal lance, they do outrange siege tanks, for anyone who is curious. Let's see here, they have a range of 6, and then extended thermal lance, it doesn't say how much they do, but if I remember right, it's roughly 9. And then, oh, this range is actually 13, but the problem with the siege tanks is that they can't see it. They can't see it, but the Colossus can still shoot it. If I remember right, because I do remember seeing that, I do remember seeing Colossus outrange tanks before. I saw it one time. Banshee here, narrowly escaping this entire death ball. I mean, she's lucky that they wanted to like get out, take revenge on that Rox instead of her. I mean, you know, you do not like want to be at the bad side of this army. I mean, that's a lot of lasers. And lasers aren't fun to be at the bad side of. As we can see here now, Flat is establishing his 3rd here. He's going to demolish the rocks, as you saw. Flatline was doing that as well. So he decides, Smoke decides, let's establish mine. If he's going for a 3rd, I'll go for a 3rd. And interesting enough, there's a Raven. Stargate just finished. Now we have a Phoenix out, which why I don't really get. Where is it? Seems to be hiding from me. There it is. Probably passed like 3 times. Everyone watching is like, it's right there as I pass it. So you see 2 more additional gateways are being added. Colossus just constantly being built. The 3rd now being established. So yeah, combat shield on its way. Gonna increase the dexterity of the Marines. Very interesting composition here. Raven, Banshees, and tanks and Marines. This is very interesting. Marauders now being added to the mix-up. As you can see, a tech lab was added to this barracks. 2 tech labs actually. 2 more barracks have just been completed, and it looks like an armory. So start getting up those upgrades for the tanks. As you see, there is a single armory out. I just realized I forgot to put myself on busy. There we are. And now these Banshees are just gonna kind of shark around and see what they can find. And what do they find? They find the 3rd. We're gonna try to see if they can deny it. Maybe even pick off this probe, but that won't really do much. And taking out this 3rd would be extremely detrimental to Smoke. As you can see here, Phoenix actually coming out of nowhere. Banshees cannot shoot the air, despite helicopters in real life can shoot air. You're going to take out that Raven, and maybe pick off a Banshee or 2. That's 1, and that is 2. And that's going to take out all of those Banshees. Phoenix are very fast units. 3rd is now that Planetary Fortress is now being morphed by Smoke, so Now the economy is really going to get rolling for all of them. As you can see here, it is 65 to 60. The income is definitely in Flatline's favor, but not for long as soon as those meals start dropping. Charge is now on its way, and very interesting all of these Phoenix. I do like it though against these tanks because you'll be able to pick them up and kind of pick them off. Guardian Shield now going up here. We're going to have the engagement. Going to try and pick off that missile turret. Goes in bad position here for Flatline. He's just kind of funneling everything into Siege Tank. All he has left is Colossus and Phoenix. Sure, he picks up all the tanks, but it's a little too late. He has 5 Colossus just eating all the bio, but eventually the tanks will start chewing their way through it. As you see, Vikings are now loses a Colossus. Lost 2 Colossus actually in that engagement, so not a good engagement for Flatline. Not at all. Probably should have waited for that charge to get up so he could have gotten his Zealots into a better position. As you can see here, there are 6 tanks back here, and they both have quite a bit of kills. This one's 2, 1, okay, 0, 5, 3. Okay, never mind. They don't have that much kills. But I thought they did. So you see, another starport is now being added. Viking councilors are going to start to get really high. It's kind of like always a window for the Protoss player. If the Terran player doesn't know that there's Colossus out, there's always that kind of window. And as you can see here, Phoenix kind of do a little back and forth with the Vikings. And yeah, not losing one. Missile turret is being built, 2 missile turrets being built right over here, as well as that 4th going up. And as you see here, not that really good positioning for Smoke either. Actually, yes, it's very good positioning. He's kind of funneling in, but the Phoenix coming in, picking up the siege tanks. One goes down, and now he's just charging his army right into the siege tank line, which is good because once you get really close up to those siege tanks, they of course can't shoot you. Only one tank. This guy's just like, what just happened? I was flying. I did not join the Air Force at all. Why do I like make these bad jokes? And looks like everything of Smoke was taken out. This is definitely Flatline's opportunity to attack. Not that much Stalkers out though against those Vikings, and these Vikings are definitely going to take out that Phoenix. Looks like Stalkers are now taking out all of those Vikings, and Blink is on its way. Ghost Academy on its way as well as 3 tech labs being established. Where? Ooh, 3 bunkers. That's a lot. There we go. 3 barracks and now 3 tech labs being added. Don't know if he's going to build just ghosts or marauders. I feel marauders and just a couple of ghosts. Thor is on its way as well. Level 1 air weapons is on its way. You don't see that very often at all. 2 more gates are being added right up here. Actually, 4 more gates being added for Flatline. If ever there was a macro game, TVP, this is it. Now the total Colossus count is up to 5, and 6 on its way. That's a lot of Colossus. And he's been doing this all off one robotics facility, so this thing is like super overheated and everything has been constantly being produced, as well as Chronodon, so it's just like all systems are overridden and hot. So like you touch this robotics facility, like your hand will get burnt. And looks like Flatline is just trying to find that fourth, sorry. As you see here, because Flatline is establishing his 4th, he feels that the 4th might be established for Smoke. And you're going to take out these destructible rocks here. I like this a lot. Going to try and just engage over here. He can easily pick out this command center if he sees it, but looks like he doesn't. Looks like he's going to fall back. And here we go. He sees the bunker and the army moving. He has to figure that there is an expansion going down right here. Figuring it's not going to be a planetary fortress, he could obviously do some heavy damage. Gonna go, that's a lot of Marauders. That's kind of like a TLO number of Marauders. He should go for this expansion, but no, instead he's gonna go for the Zelnaga Watchtower, take out this, clean up all these Marauders. The more Marauders you kill, the better as a Protoss player. The 4th is just about to finish right now. And, oops, planetary fortress now being morphed. He's got to take this out. I mean, once that gets going, that gets rolling, that the economy of the Terran player will be nigh on unstoppable. And 2 more Stargates being added. What? 2 Stargates. Okay, I'm just trying to think of the last time I saw a Protoss player with 3 Stargates, and I think this is the first time. If anyone can think of a game, like, please leave a comment for me so I can check it out, or link it to me, because 3 Stargates in a single game, that's like not bronze or silver league. These guys are masters, so I mean, this is serious right here. This is serious business. As you see, Protoss Air Armor 1, as well as Ground Armor 2 and Weapons 2. So upgrades to upgrades to upgrades, and the 5th for FlatLine now being established at that gold. Pretty soon FlatLine's economy is going to be huge. As you can see, there's a drop over here for Smoke. There's nothing over here, kind of just like a scouting drop. All Marauders. I mean, it's 8 Marauders. This is a lot. And so they're all just kind of hanging out. As to the vision, I feel FlatLine could possibly be doing more with his observers, and these Marauders now going to go into this 4th right here, and just they're going to wreak havoc. And now that FlatLine's reacting, it's too late. That goes down. Huge economic downturn for FlatLine, I would say. He's just going to reestablish it. All these things are going to intercept, though. And there we go, taken out right there. And Sensor Tower now being established for Smoke right there. DTs were in the mix right there. Scan went down and took them out, as we can see. And let's see, I'm just trying to find that Dark Shrine. I saw it in production. Maybe I was wrong. What? 5 robotics facilities. That's 5 Colossus at a time. 8 Colossus. Okay, let's just look at the ridiculousness of this army. We have a single observer, standard, 20 Zealots, 8 Colossus, 5 Stalkers, 7 Phoenix. And on the Terran side of things, we have 23 Marauders, 3 Medevacs, 3 Thors, 7 Vikings, 2 Siege Tanks, 16 Marines, and 5 Ghosts, with an engagement of Thors and Colossus, as you can see here. Everything going down. Huge EMPs on all of these Zealots, but just the Zealots. There are no sentries within this composition, so not much to really do. So now it's just become a positioning battle. They want to kind of fight for this position. There's a Dark Shrine. I thought there was a Dark Shrine earlier, but no, I was mistaken. It is now being made. Okay, you know what Blizzard needs to implement? Like, in replays, whenever you like double click what is being made, it goes to it, because I have a hard time finding stuff. Fleet Beacon as well. This is descended into utter chaos. As we can see here, Smoke is actually making command centers in forward to as planetary fortresses, taking out all these barracks here. Vikings moving forward, trying to get some Colossus, but at this point it doesn't matter. Here come the chargelets, a lot of EMPs going off. Huge Colossus numbers, huge Zealot numbers, as we can see. Almost all the bio being cleaned up. These Thors are doing really good damage, though. Everything of FlatLines is cleaned up. DTs are now in the mix, but scans goes off. There are a lot of DTs. Wow. They might actually clean up. There are just too many, an overwhelming amount of DTs to the point where it doesn't even matter. And after cleaning up everything else, they are going to get cleaned up as well. So when it comes to the battle of who wants the Xel'Naga tower, looks like Smoke wins this one. But look at that. We have now 7 Zealots coming in. Going to try and clean up. Thor drop right there. Picking up that Thor. That was a huge warpin. So I'm curious to see how much of a warpin that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, no, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 gates, standard, I'd say. Not that you could warp an entire army right there and then. 63 Phoenix are now on their way as well. You can make those instantaneously pretty much. And you can make 5 Colossus, but it looks like he's just going to settle for 2. His gas count, FlatLine's gas count is actually pretty low. And as you see, even more Zealots and more Zealots and more Zealots. Interesting enough, Smoke has transitioned out of the tanks, which is ironic because that could actually help him a lot right now. This planetary fortress is going to be extremely helpful for Smoke, because it's kind of just going to be like, I'm going to fall back here on this planetary fortress and pretty much kill all your Zealots. As you see, shields level 1 being researched. So you don't see shields level 1 ever researched pretty much. And Blue Flame Hellions on their way. Terran vehicle weapons level 3, as well as 2 more missile turrets to kind of just find those DTs. And 2 Colossus have now just finished. 6 more Zealots being warped in. How much Zealots is that? Jeez, all of Ire is right here. 41 Zealots. And level 3 air. Or not, level 2 air. Never mind. So now we're going to have 3/3 Marines. With 3/0 Thors. And 3/0 Blue Flames. Which, you know, is kind of scary. So these Hellions now do 28 versus light. Zealots are, I do believe, a light unit. As you can see, there was a drop over here. Got cleaned up. Took out this expansion. I missed that. Yes, they are a light. So these blue flames are going to they're going to be extremely helpful for smoke. Really, I'm tripping over myself. It's very bad. A lot of Hellions actually in production. Let's see here. There's 10 Hellions right now. 2 in production almost constantly. So yeah, now we just kind of wait. So many Phoenix. So yes, what they're doing right now, they're just they're trying to harass each other, and at the same time trying to find a hole to punch in. It's kind of coming down to these Phoenix and drops. As you can see, Smoke has taken out 2 expansions with drops, and now by the looks of it, Flatline is going to take out all of the SCVs with this with these Phoenix. It's raining blood. And looks like just a little Miss Micro there, kind of losing focus. And now this entire expansion has been cleaned up, except for that one sole survivor who is going to leave. Never mind. Let's say he is going to live with some extreme anxiety for the rest of his life. He's going to be afraid of the sky. And as we can see as a result, it's pretty much going to come down to an economic battle. Who can maintain the better economy for longer? True battle of attrition. And as we can see here, the site Flatline does have superior position in this. There's the EMPs right off on the Colossus and on all the Zealots. These Blue Flame Hellions doing a ridiculous amount of damage, falling back onto the Planetary Fortress. Very bad. These Phoenix not doing that much. They're just going around and killing medevacs, which sure is nice, but at this point not nice enough because all the Colossus have been swept up, and now all the Phoenix are gone too. Level 3 weapons upgrade as well as Graviton Catapult. So maybe some carriers are on their way. So many DTs are now in. That is a total of 10 DTs. Scan going down. Now they're going to take out everything or being taken out themselves. There we saw a Ghost take out a DT in while it was charging, which I thought was pretty cool. As much as I love DTs, they're kind of my favorite unit. And that Hellion, that was a poor Hellion. Poor little Hellion. And now this expansion has been reestablished, but at this point, Flat is just kind of using it for gas. He doesn't really need the minerals as much as he needs the gas. This gold is not about halfway done. This is far from being mined out, and then this is completely mined out. His first 3 bases are completely mined out, except for these 3 mineral patches, which is not that much minerals. It's like maybe 2.5 Zealots worth of minerals right there. And this sensor tower it's been really nice for Flatline. He's pretty much been able to tell the speed of certain units, the speed of certain dots. That's what they are. As you see, those are obviously Phoenix, and I'm just trying to think here. Really, they don't show up. Now you can see Hellion's going to try and get in. They're going to try and do some probe damage. Ooh, that's a lot of probes there. These 2 Hellions can do a lot of damage. Line them up, and they are lining them up, as we can see here. Ooh, a lot of damage here. Phoenix going to come in. That one had 9. Both of the 10 kills right there for those 29 to 12 kills actually for workers. So Flatline is definitely in the lead, as we can see, 71 to 51. But you can make up that difference with mules. And this is a ridiculous game. It's a very harass-orientated game, very late and macro harass-orientated, as we can all see. This sucks to be those SCVs, that's all I can really say. That mule is gone. Always kind of aim for the mules that are there for a while. And every single SCV, of course, being cleaned up, as we can see. Flatline doing really good damage with his Phoenix. Now these Hellions are going to come in. They're going to try to do some more damage, which looks like they are going to. And doing even, ooh, a lot of damage, actually. Oh, these probes being lined up. Not that good a spread from Flat, and wow, this entire mineral line almost being completely cleaned up. That was a really big one. Phoenix going to completely take out these Hellions. And as we can see here now, it is 34 to 26 when it comes to kills. First carrier is on its way, people. I announce it right now. First carrier on its way. 61 harvesters to 46 harvesters. Thor is on his way as well. As you can see, there it is. Right there. Yes, it is the first carrier. Build a mothership. I want to see a mothership flatline. You definitely have the economy for it. So your Smoke is pretty much being starved right now. I mean, he doesn't have that much minerals to make much. He's got tons of gas though, and you know, he could make a couple, like probably a handful of Marines, but that's pretty much it. And at this point, this is pretty much the Marine death ball right here. No Marine wants to go up against this. So the Marauders are definitely a better choice because they can tank a lot more damage. They can deal out a lot more damage as well. As you see here, Protoss Air Armor level 2. These Phoenix looks like they just took out a drop or a Viking or something. A lot of missile turrets out here. Don't know if they're going to be able to take out any SCVs. No, instead, Flatline's going to save his Phoenix and just leave. 2 more carriers are on their way. There's the first carrier. Such a beautiful, magnificent thing. Of course, you can't really see it amongst these heads of Colossus. Maybe right there. You can kind of see it. So I'm kind of curious as the Viking count. There are 2 Vikings. 3 more are on their way. 2 more are on their way, actually. This game is long, 36 minutes long already, and it's just kind of all positioning. Another starport going down on this reactor, so now we're going to have even more Vikings coming out. 3 ghosts are on their way. It is a max Protoss who is at 323 to 158 Terran, and that is definitely favoring the Protoss players. You see here now, Phoenix coming in trying to do harass. More as if I feel just trying to get rid of supply, but as you see, did not lose a single Phoenix there. Trying to keep Smoke on edge right now, which is doing a really good job. Gear up for a supply, or for a drop. Blue Flame Hellion drop. Probably going to aim right over here. As you can see, it do a lot of damage, but there are photon cannons actually really well placed in a kind of awesome way too. Like, is this StarCraft or Command and Conquer? Lol. This is a lot like Command and Conquer. It is. Kudos to Smoke for that comment. But as we can see here, Smoke with a drop trying to keep the sanity of StarCraft 2 alive here. So, and with these 4 Blue Flame Hellions, he's going to get in and try and do some damage. Unfortunately, those photon cannons going to do a lot. And oh no, he is aiming, he is focusing down those photon cannons. You should not be doing that. Should have just gone for the probes. You could have done a lot more damage. Phoenix don't even care anymore. They're like, the photon cannons, got it. And Phoenix looks like they're going to do a counter over here with the SCVs. Nope, they decided not to because there's way too much. These missile turrets, they got too much stuff on it. They didn't take out that medevac though. 233, and here come the carriers. Da, 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 da. That's the carrier sound whenever I see carriers moving out, and they're going to probably spontaneously evaporate everything over here. Now that the carriers have been revealed, it is a scary, no fun face. I have no idea how Smoke is going to react to this, and he's been making a lot of Vikings, and he's up to 3 Vikings right now, 6, and there's not that much anti-air for Flatline aside from those Phoenix. That's pretty much all he's got. 3 more carriers are on their way. It's just Zealots being produced, and looks like this command center is going to be reestablished. I mean, if you want to, you could probably float one of his dead ones over there. Well, not this one, because that's a planetary fortress. And now it looks like we have 4 Vikings. Need more. Need more Vikings! And these Phoenix are going to come in. You're just going to try and pick off the reinforcements. A single SCV going down. And this Marauder is... Okay, that Marauder is like, I was the one to survive. I am the chosen one. 3 more carriers on their way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Protoss Air level 3 is also on its way too. So we are talking a maxed out 333 air with 333 ground against a 3-3 ground with 3-3 mech with 0-0 air. So upgrade wise, Flatline is just completely decimating Smoke. Just because he has those... Wow, those Hellions did not enjoy what they saw. And now that we have the Stalkers also on their way, a lot more Stalkers being made, so these Vikings now officially don't stand a single chance. Hallucination on its way as well, interesting enough. Hey, why not? I don't even have a sentry, but I'm gonna make it. Almost every single upgrade. Sonic Storm, didn't even know there was they didn't even know there was a Templar archive. So you can see the army also moving out once more. A lot of carriers. That is 6 carriers. They are going to move out to this command center, this unsuspecting poor command center. Pew pew pew. Exactly how it works. And look at that, almost gone instantaneously. It's like bees, really, swarming everything. They're going to take out the SCVs as well. This carrier, these carriers actually don't have that much kills. That one has 3, 1, 3, 3, 2. So kind of just like 9 kills in total amongst these 6 carriers. But now the Vikings going to have some fun with the Phoenix. And these carriers just... Death Carrier. This game is so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. I mean, Sonic Storm is done now, yeah, but what's it going to do for you? I mean, doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're going to warp in High Templars, you might as well feed back the Thors. I mean, they're at full energy already. As you can see, Terran ship weapons level 1 is on its way. Here comes the engagement right now. And looks like that Planetary Fortress. And here come the chargelets, the bees, the interceptors, everything. Planetary Fortress is going to go down. Vikings trying to engage, but the Phoenix are just too overwhelming. The Thor's AI is getting so messed up. The Vikings should be focusing down carriers. And there's the GG from Smoke, LOL. That game was a little crazy, I have to say. Not a little crazy. That was insane. That was complete chaos. It has descended into chaos. Anyway, my name is Nerdcraft. Please check out Team Envy at teamenvy.net. That's it. I am out.